Hi, this is Dr. Noel Lloyd for 5-Star Management. Do you know how to get the most out of your live trainings? Now, if you don't, you could end up at a seminar taking the whole staff, flying, hotels, meals, seminar costs, and waste 90% of your investment, end up back at your office wondering, why in the heck did we even do that? And if you get this right, you can be prepared prior to going, so everybody knows what they're supposed to do. Everybody understands their assignment once they get to the live training, and you can actually have an action plan in place before you actually head back to your hometown. And in this short video, I'm going to show you how to get the absolute most out of your live trainings. So at 5-Star right now, one of the things we're preparing for is our Retention Intensive. It's a live training, and here's why I love live trainings. Everybody's in the room. Before we start, the music is really motivational and inspiring, and then we kick off with lots of philosophy and positive energy, and the energy in the room is just absolutely great. So we spend our first session together, and then we do CA breakouts, and Phyllis Fraze will take our CAs and do specific training with them on retention. But here's what also happens. The doctors are milling around and talking to each other at breaks, and there's this synergy that happens in the hallway over coffee and at lunch. Then you take your team out to dinner, and everybody gets this great esprit de corps. So that's one of the reasons why you should do a live training. But I want my doctors and my guests to be perfectly prepared in order to take home a ton of great information and be able to have a plan in place by the time they actually get back home, instead of heading up in the office 2-3 days after the live training thinking, why in the world did we even do this? I'm going to give you 3 pieces that you need to know for this upcoming seminar, and if you do this for your upcoming live trainings in the future, you'll have great live trainings, and I'm going to cover that in this next segment. So there are 3 things that you can do to prepare for this retention live training or any live training that you attend. Number 1, we're going to do an audit. Now for retention, I want to know how many patients out of 100 actually complete a full chiropractic care plan. I want to know how many patients out of 100 we actually deliver to a wellness program. And if we're not delivering that many to wellness or having people complete a full chiropractic care program the way that it's outlined, I want to know where they're falling out. And we do that with an audit. There was a gentleman that walked up to me at one of my retention live trainings. He says, Dr. Lloyd, I found out that 84% of the people who quit me quit in the first 4 visits. Well, we found out that the first 4 visits was a pretty dangerous place in his practice. So we need to find out where the retention problems are in your practice. That's number 1. Number 2, we have a retention analyzer. Between making an appointment for somebody at an external marketing event and delivering that patient through relief, correction, and strengthening all the way into maintenance and into wellness, we want to know, we've got 26 different steps that we want to rate ourselves on. Not that you're going to work on 26 different things, but you might read something here where, for instance, it says pre-consultation statement. The DC sets the stage, the tone, and the pace of the relationship using the 5-Star Management script before you even start the history. Oh, well, what's all that about? Or maybe I don't do that very well. So you rate the different things on the retention analyzer. Maybe you find 3 to 5 things that you'll work on. I've had so many doctors tell me that they've increased their PVA by 10 visits or 20 visits just by working on 2 or 3 things on the analyzer. You use the analyzer with your staff, you score it out. You do this before you actually end up at the seminar so that you can be primed and prepared and aware to take good information home to fix the different problems that you find are your chief retention issues. Now, I've got an article that I went over, in fact, I wrote this article because it came out of a meeting that I would have with my staff. I've been doing my own seminars for almost 30 years. And I have had up to 5 offices at one time and done 10 offices. And I would have all of my office staff, my DCs and my CAs, come to seminars. Well, you can imagine over a period of decades, you know, that I've seen some mistakes. For instance, some people would come to a seminar and their conduct wasn't that good. Some people would stay out a little bit too late, maybe have a little bit too much to drink, end up, one CA who worked for me crashed the whole event for her team and almost ruined it for me as well. So we talk about citizenship at the seminar. Another thing that we'll do is we'll go over the analyzers for a particular live training, and every single person will know what they're responsible to pull out of the live training. I'm also going to give some assignments to CAs on what they need to do in their live trainings and my DCs and what they're supposed to bring back. Now listen, this is the fun part. Frequently, doctors who do this particular article and they're talking about the information that they've pulled together, when they hop in the car driving home from the seminar, it might be a couple hours, they will have a fully fleshed out plan for implementing things from the seminar by the time they get back to their hometown. So, number one, on a retention intensive, you're going to do an audit. We're going to take a look boldly and bravely into the true retention issues of our practice. Number two, we're going to take a look at the analyzer to figure out what things we need to work on to fix our retention. And number three, we're going to talk about how we're going to act at a seminar, number one. And then number two, what we're going to take home from the seminar. Everybody has a responsibility so that I won't find myself back at my office 2, 3, 4 days after the live training thinking, why in the world did I do that? Instead, I'm going to experience what many of my clients do, and that is they're in an office meeting and they can barely get a word in edgewise because their team is talking about all the great things that they plan to implement and the things that they talked about in the car or on the plane. So this is Dr. Lloyd for 5-Star Management. Use those 3 things for this upcoming live training and you'll have an absolutely tremendous seminar. By the way, if you want to work on your retention, push the button right below this video right here and take a look at our live training for retention and see if this might not be exactly what you need right now. So we'll see you at the seminar. Have a good one. Bye-bye.